What would you do if you lost all of your income in one day? I'm talking about no notice, no warning, no nothing. Just you jump on a Zoom meeting and they have a conversation and they say that primary income that you use to support your family is gone, right? That's crazy. But guess what? That's what happened to me. And almost no one knew about it. I didn't tell anyone. There were so many emotions that I was facing when I went through this situation. I was afraid. I'll be honest. I was upset. Yep. I was almost devastated. But for the sake of my family, my children, my wife, everybody, I had to keep on. And I had to decide that I wasn't going to let that destroy me, but let it build me. And today, I'm breaking my silence and I'm going to tell you guys about the story. Now, on this channel, I share my participation in high risk, mid risk, and even some low risk crypto passive income plays. And sometimes I even dabble into Forex and other things, as a matter of fact. But today, I'm changing it up a little bit and I'm going to share a little bit of my journey because I believe it's going to help somebody else. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's jump right into it. Guys, about 3 years ago in 2021, things were going very well, right? It was going very, very well for me. I was actually at the point where I had built up some crypto income. I'm going to tell you guys about that. And it was absolutely phenomenal. I was able to step away from my 6-figure bank job that I had, where I was a pillar in my community. I was doing some incredible things in the banking world, but the income that I had started to earn through crypto had far superseded anything that I was making from the bank. So it just made sense for me to leave the bank. And I did that. I stepped away. It took me longer than I was supposed to because I had made plans to resign from the bank back in November of 2020, but I didn't. It took me until February of 2021 for me to actually go ahead and step away and actually do the 2 weeks notice and do my resignation with the bank. And it was mixed emotions. It was a different situation. It was something I had never done before, right? I've always dabbled in entrepreneurship, but it had never got to the level of where I could even consider walking away from permanently from my job through anything else that I was doing. So I was so thankful for walking into and discovering this crypto space, right? And I'll tell you a little bit about that journey because I discovered crypto when it wasn't as popular as it is now, and we hear everybody talking about the bull run, the all-time high. You have a president that is very friendly and favorable for cryptocurrency, and now people are really coming to the light of what cryptocurrency is. But when I started with cryptocurrency, we didn't have that. That wasn't the situation, right? When I started in cryptocurrency, it was not well known about. A lot of people were still trying to figure this thing out, such as That's the same thing that I was doing, right? Even at the bank, the first time that I started hearing about cryptocurrency, it was a gentleman that came into the bank and he had a quite sizable amount in his account. And as he was trying to do a withdrawal, we had to ask questions about the income. And then he told me he had sold some crypto, right? I think it was Bitcoin. He had sold some Bitcoin and he was telling me a little bit about it. I think the money came from Coinbase or something like that. And I was like, man, you know what? This is interesting right here. It has to be something. So I started doing a little research on my own. Nothing that I really was diving too deep into, but I did want to know what was this about since this gentleman had made such a substantial amount of money in his account, right? And so, but I left it alone. I did a little research. It didn't last very long. But then it came up again, right? It kept coming up. Crypto stuff would keep coming up. And I wanted to know more about this crypto thing, right? And then it was one day that I had saw one of the gentlemen that I had done business with before. We had been in the same business. We weren't directly connected, but we had been in the same business before. And I saw him talking about trading. And he said he was trading in the foreign exchange markets and things like that. And I was like interested in it. When I saw he was posting the results of his trading accounts, what he was doing and everything, I said, this is neat. I like this. I like making money work for me. I want to learn the skill of trading. And so when I got into that and started looking into that, one of the things that we had to do was we had to set up a broker account. Some of you guys are familiar with this, right? You probably had the same scenario or story, right? So we had to set up a broker account to set up our actual trading account. So I set up a broker account, and to fund the broker account, we had to purchase Bitcoin, right? So we purchased Bitcoin. You had to fund it with crypto. So I purchased Bitcoin, found out how to do that, found a wallet. That's when I was introduced to my first crypto exchange, all of that type of stuff. When I figured out how to purchase some Bitcoin and then how to send it over to the broker to fund my account. And so when I did that, one of the things that happened, I purchased some Bitcoin. I sent some money over to fund my account. And in doing that, my novice, unexperienced self, I left like $10 of Bitcoin in my crypto exchange at the time that I didn't send over to the broker. And so it was about after a month after I started trading, I had lost all of the money I tried to go out and trade, right? I lost everything in that trading account. Nothing was left. I'm telling you, zero. I was not a good trader. And I was part of the thing, the opportunity that I was a part of was crypto education. Like, you pay monthly for the crypto education, not crypto, well, just Forex and crypto education. You pay monthly for it. You got access to their tools and also the educational courses and all of that type of stuff, right? So I was in there, lost all of the money in there. So I went back to the broker and I was like, well, maybe I'll just add some more money to the broker, right? And so, but it was like, well, you have to add with crypto. So I went back to the exchange where I left that $10 of crypto. And lo and behold, when I looked at it, right, that $10 of crypto had turned into $70. Hold on. If I lost all the money that I was trying to trade with, and now, right, I look over here at this crypto thing, this Bitcoin, it went from $10 to $7. It's 7x without me doing anything. This is where I need to be. I started looking more into crypto. I did not fund that broker account anymore. I kind of figured I wrote it off with me not being able to trade very well. So I said, but I'm going to get into this crypto stuff and I'm going to figure this thing out, right? I didn't figure it out. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I did figure it out. I did some research on my own. I put some stuff out on Facebook asking people to be like, hey, what do you know about this crypto stuff, right? And then there was people that responded. Most people just trying to sell me on their opportunity and stuff. And so I was just out there looking, but my antennas were up now. I'm looking for any information I could get on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, this stuff. I got to figure this stuff out, right? So after a little while, I had another gentleman that I was in business with before. He was posting on his Facebook, and he was posting, hey, everybody in my community, they're making money every single day just by clicking the button. Y'all better get on this, right? And I'm like, and they said, he was like, it's cryptocurrency. And I was like, okay, cryptocurrency, you got my attention. But still, I didn't want to reach out to anybody because I was like, you just trying to sell me on something, sell me on your opportunity. I don't want to do this, right? And so actually, I went ahead and I wanted to get the information though. So I joined his group. I never reached out to him. I joined the group and I just got in the group and I looked at the tutorials and all the stuff that he had put up there. And I said, hey, let me check this stuff out, right? And I'm going to get involved. I'm not going to say anything to anybody. If I lose the money, I lose the money. Nobody knows. No shame, no harm, no foul, right? But I got in there. I took that $70 of Bitcoin that I had and I said, well, let me get it started with that. So I got started with that $70. It was very true at that time with that opportunity. All you had to do every day, go in and click a button. You were making money in crypto. I was loving it. I said, this is the easiest way I've made money in a long time, right? And so I got really in depth with it, man. I even started trying to help other people get on with it. I'm like, y'all got to see this. We're making money. We just clicking a button every day with cryptocurrency. I started doing presentations for it, right? That's when I really got back into my presentation bag and started showing people the opportunity, telling people about how great it was, showing people my results, all that type of stuff. Well, when people were ready to get involved, what they wanted to do was they wanted to learn how. And I found myself being on the phone all the time with so many people or getting on Zoom with people trying to show them how to get involved. So to try to streamline the process, what I did was I said, well, I'm going to start creating these videos and I'm going to put them on the website. Whenever anybody wants to get started, they'll just go through the process of looking at the videos. And so I did that, right? But in order for me to put the videos onto the website, I had to put them on YouTube. Well, I had a YouTube channel, so I just went ahead and I put them on YouTube and then put the video on there. Well, lo and behold, after I put the video on YouTube, people started watching the video on YouTube and they were asking me questions there. And they were saying, oh, this is so helpful. This is what I've been looking for. How they were getting started. Not only were they getting started, they were joining me. And they were asking for my link. They was like, hey, what's your link to this? What's your link to this? Right. And I would give them my link. And then lo and behold, in that time, I turned like $70 into $7,000 in about 30 days. I know it's crazy. It was one of the most incredible things that happened to me. It couldn't come at a better time because even though, I was at a good job, I was with a primary income provider and I needed the extra money at that time. I don't know about you guys, if you ever been in a position where you needed the extra money and you wanted things to be better. Even though things were good, things could have been better and they did get better with this, right? So I got involved in that, and even through that, turning the $70 into like $7,000, what I was able to do was actually start getting into some other things because that platform that we were using started having some issues. They had some things that we didn't like and things that were happening that we didn't agree with and all that type of stuff. So I started looking at other avenues, right? And so I looked at other things and I actually got into another thing. I put $100 into another company that did trading. And I was like, okay, let me put another $100 over here and see how this goes. Now, because other people were having problems with other things, people were looking at, I put the videos to show people how to get started with that as well. People started joining my team. People looked at my tutorials and all of that type of stuff. And they were like, hey, we're joining this too. Well, guys, through that opportunity, I only put $100 of my own personal money into it. And through that opportunity, I was able to turn that $100 into over $500,000 in crypto, right? And it was absolutely incredible. One of the best things that happened, because that happened in like 8 months, right? I don't know about you guys, but that's a phenomenal income for me in 8 months, right? But let me back it up a little bit because I want to make sure I don't skip any details for you guys. But through the process of doing that, right, I started building a team, got very involved. I was very passionate about this opportunity. I was sharing it with people. I was just out there just doing this thing with this. But let me tell you guys, right? I had built this income up. I had worked very hard to do this. I was doing Zoom meetings every single day at one point. Not only every single day, multiple times a day. Private Zooms and other Zooms that I was doing all the time, right? I was doing this. And I built a team. I think eventually the whole team I ended up putting tens of thousands of people in an organization, and it was like tens of millions of dollars of revenue into that organization. And it was incredible. But the thing was that it was just going so fast. And let me tell you one of the things that I did during that time. I didn't really care what anybody else was doing. People would come to me and share opportunities with me. I would be like, whatever. I was really in comparison mode. But does it pay you this? Did it pay you like this? Are you making as much money as I'm making? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? That's the mode I was in. I was shunning off everything else, right? And it was cool until that one dreaded day. I remember it was on a Wednesday. We actually got to a call. We had some leaders that had went over to Dubai because I had some other things that were going on. I did not go over to Dubai, right? I didn't take that trip. But there were, I was there in the car and there was a call. And on that call, they announced that they were changing their business model and everything. And they were going from this trading passive income platform to an education platform. And what that meant basically was that everything that I was making, it was wiped out. Now, let me tell you, some of y'all may be like, oh, but Anthony, whatever, people face this. Look, let me tell you guys, I had built this income up to the point that I was earning over $26,000 per week. And what I had learned at that time, on that call, on that Wednesday, I think it was around 3 p.m. if I'm not mistaken, on that Wednesday, when I got on that call, I was sitting out because I was getting my tires rotated on my Suburban. And I was sitting outside and I was on the call and listening to it. And I realized it was just right on that call that I realized that all of my income was done. Now, guys, I want to be honest with you, right? Because it still brings up emotions to me to this day, right? I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do from here, right? Because this was about a month or so after I had left my job. Yes, it was about a month or so after I had left my job when I got on this call and when my income was wiped away. I was devastated. I didn't know what I was going to do, right? I didn't know how I was going to make it. I didn't know how I was going to provide for my family. I had created a certain lifestyle for my family. And I didn't want to change the lifestyle for my family. I didn't want to do this. Now, yes, guys, of course, I had some income saved. I was making money up until then. And I had some income saved, but still cash flow, right, is king. Is to me, cash flow. Not just letting your stash grow. I want to let my stash grow. Yes, that's one thing, but cash flow. Because if you don't have cash flow, that stash will go, right? Really quick. And so that's one of the things that I learned through this process, right? And I was like, man, I don't have any more cash flow. I didn't know what I was going to do. And of course, I had all different people bringing me all different types of opportunities as they were before. But I was just devastated that this one didn't work out. That this one wasn't what it was. I built this. I knew what it take to build this. Was I ready to go through this again? Was I ready to do this all over again? And who's to say if I do this over again, will the same thing happen to me again? Right? But it was at that time I had a moment that I had to come to myself, right? I don't know if you all ever had those moments where you got to come to yourself and you have to figure out how you're going to move forward. You got to figure out what I'm going to do from here. How am I going to learn from this? How am I going to bounce back from this? And I want to tell you, it wasn't a perfect process because I had to go through quite a few things. I looked at some things. I was trying to figure out what's the right way. I put together some things. And I was going into some opportunities. Some were failing, some were going away, some were scamming out, rug pulling, doing all this type of stuff. And I just couldn't get it to bounce back like it was. And it was just something like I didn't know, right? I didn't know what was going to happen. And I had some tough times, right? Because I was going through my savings, what I had saved, keeping up the lifestyle that I had. I was going through a lot. I mean, guys, you got to think about this. This lifestyle that I had bought cars, Mercedes in cash, right? Because the cash flow was there. I had bought two Mercedes in cash, right? I had, we actually bought we moved into a new house. We bought all of the furniture in cash. We didn't finance it. We did all of this other stuff. So I was burning through some of the cash that we had because we wanted to live the debt-free lifestyle, really. And it was so much. I had burned through some stuff, and it was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm burning through my cash. The income is not stacking back up like it was before. I don't know what I'm going to do. But here's one thing that I learned, guys. I found out through that time that I would never, ever put myself in the position where I only had one source of income. And you guys will hear me say it, and some people think it's a cliche, or some people think it's just one of those meme posts and the graphic and whatever, and they don't really feel it. Guys, I feel it when I see the post and when I post it, that one source of income is too close to none. So one of the principles that I live by now is that I will always have multiple streams of income. And some of you wonder why you look at my channel, you look at my group, you look at the things that I'm involved in. Well, why is Anthony involved in so many things? Part of it is a trauma response, if you will, right? It's a trauma response because I know how traumatic it is to lose all of your income and have nothing else to fall back on and no other income streams to do that. So guys, I don't want you guys to judge me as you see that I try a lot of different things. Here's the thing, guys. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, if you're going to be an investor, if you're going to be in this crypto space, guys, it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of try, fail, and adjust. There's no clear-cut, straight path to success when it comes to this stuff. I've tried it in a lot of different spaces and in a lot of different ways. There's no clear-cut path, right? But I want to tell you, if you keep going, things will show up and things will pan out and things will come for you, right? But you just got to keep going. And a lot of people, I get all the people out there that hate on what I do, right? And it's me going through the weeds trying to figure out what doesn't work and what does. It's just like, I forgot who the quote is attributed to, but they said, I found 10,000 ways that doesn't work. I think it was Thomas Edison when he was talking about finding the light bulb. It was no stroke of genius. The stroke of genius was that he went through all the different ways that did not work to find the one that will. And I'm willing to wade my way through the water to figure out what's actually working, what is actually going to stick, what is actually going to be my thing. And if it takes me going through 10,000 ways, then I'll do it. But I don't think it will. And I've had some incredible things. I've got some lower risk stuff in my portfolio. I've got some higher risk stuff. I got some mid risk. And I'll be honest with you, there's some high risk stuff that's paid me much better than the low risk stuff. There's some low risk stuff that's paid me much longer than the high risk stuff, but not as much. It's so many different variables when it comes to this space. I've got some stuff in traditional entrepreneurship. I own some land. I got a lot of different things, but I just know that I'm not going to just settle on one source of income. And the space that's been cut out for me, the space that I have my experiences now, is the passive crypto space. It's my primary space. Yes, I'm pivoting a lot, right? And I'm getting into Forex and the Forex education, and I'm getting into other things that interest me, like business credit and financial literacy and all of those things that really interest me, that I'm really passionate about, right? And I want to tell you guys that I look at a lot of different things, right? Even mentorship and masterminding and just success principles and all that type of stuff that I want to provide to people. I really want to have an impact on this world. If I didn't want to have an impact, I probably would have left this stuff a long time ago and just said, I'm going back to work. I'm going back to my 9 to 5. Can I be honest with you all? I know this video was longer than it should be, but can I be honest with you all today? I even tried it. It just wasn't in the cards for me. I tried to go back. I went back and I had an interview with the same bank that I left. They were excited at first and all that stuff. It didn't pan out for me. I went and had an interview with a competitor bank and they were excited and all this other stuff. And we were trying to go back and forth. It didn't pan out for me. One of the reasons was because I had a business that was in cryptocurrency. They didn't like that too much, right? They had all these different types of questions about it and they couldn't get around it. I tried to go back to traditional. I got business in. I actually have experience in being a call center, senior operations manager, client services, project management, all that type of stuff, right? And I tried to go back to stuff like that. It didn't pan out for me. Trying to make the type of income that I need to sustain my lifestyle, and also the time freedom that I need to take care of my family. Right? To maneuver, and we've got certain situations with our family that we need to take care of. And it's hard for you to find, well, at least for me, to find a job that will accommodate all of that type of stuff. So I had to resort to making sure that I make this work. And I'm telling you guys what I want you guys to do. Why are you doing this video, Anthony? Because there's a couple things that I want you all to know. And I'm going to bring this home today, right? But there's a couple things that I want you all to know. I want to know, first of all, I want you to know that you can make it. You can do this. If you have a dream of going out and becoming a YouTuber, content creator, or even just an entrepreneur in the online space in general, you can do this. You see all the other creators doing this. Don't think that they're any better than you. Don't think that they don't face the challenges that you face. Don't think that they don't face the struggles that you face, because we most definitely do. We don't show them all the time, and maybe that's a fault of ours that we don't show the things that we go through, but we go through things all the time. We go through struggles. We go through challenges, right? If you want to pursue this space, if you want to pursue entrepreneurship, go for it. It's possible. But I'm not one of the ones that's going to sit here and tell you that everything's going to be a piece of cake. It's not all going to be easy. You're going to have some trouble that you're going to have to face, right? But I'm here to let you know that you can overcome those troubles. Man, it's been a lot of nights where it's just been me and God. A lot of early mornings where it's just me and God praying for a way to make it through. And I was able to make it through, right? Continue to push and go through it. Here's the second thing I want you guys to know, right? One stream of income is too close to none. You heard me say it before. I told you that's something that I'm passionate about. I am about diversifying and being in different income streams. Now, you have to choose how much you can manage. I don't think you should be all over the place. I think you should get you a central focus, right? And then build income streams around that central focus. My passive crypto income, I have a lot of passive crypto income. I probably have about 10 to 12 different income streams right now. I get paid from, of course, you guys know I get paid from crypto platforms that I've invested in. I get paid from about 2 or 3 brokers in the Forex exchange space right now. I get paid from mentorships that I have right now. I get paid from a lot of different ways, right? There's a lot of different sources of income, but pretty much most of them are in this space that I am in. I try not to step too far outside of my space, especially in the financial space. I try not to step outside of that. I try to be in one of those spaces so it doesn't get me, so I'm not all over the place, right? So, but I want you guys to look at, if you take a sit down and really think about it. I heard one of my mentors says, the problem with most people is that they don't think, they just think they think. And I want you guys not to only think you think, I want you to go out and really think and think about what you have your hands on, what you space you're into, and what your real opportunity is, and how can you change whatever you have into multiple streams of income. How can you develop multiple streams of income from it, right? And so if you do that, then that's one of the things I believe is going to allow you to create more stability in your life. And of course, I believe everybody should have some type of investing income where you're putting money to work for you. You really need to do that. Yes, we are taught to work hard for money, and I say it all the time, but it's not until you don't create freedom unless you learn how to make money work hard for you. And so that's one of the things I want you guys to really, really, really do, right? Now, here's the third thing that I want you guys to do, right? I want you guys to, what's been really important for me, right, is to find someone who you can look to, who is having success. They're open, and their principal beliefs and values, they actually line up with yours. I am a believer, right? And so anybody that I follow, I look towards, they're most likely going to have to be a believer. Not saying that I can't take stuff from other people who may not believe the way that I believe, but I want to tell you, I needed somebody that would be able to help me, and that would have the same core values, so I could respect them and I could believe in what they're saying, so I could follow them. I may not necessarily do exactly everything that they do, but they were setting the model. You need some people that you can model after, right? And that the people that are succeeding, you have to get away from the people who are not achieving the things that you want to achieve. You have to get away from the people who are, you just can't be around the people, everybody's failing and everybody's around licking each other's wounds and stuff like that and supporting each other. Like, man, if the conversations are always negative about what's not happening, what's wrong, and all of this other stuff, that's the conversation you need to get out of. You need to get into some compensation conversations, right? The right conversation could change your compensation, I promise you. And they say the right information could change your situation. Here's, guys, look, let me tell you this. If you get the right information, but you do nothing with it, it means absolutely nothing for you. But if you can get the right information and you can get around some people, right, that will do some things that are doing the things that you will learn how to model to do, and you go out and do it. When you start doing those things, you'll start getting those results in your life. A lot of people ask me, what's working right now? You know what's primarily working? Whatever you're working. I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta give you I'm gonna give you the real deal. If you're not, I don't care if it's working for somebody else. If it's something that's working and you're not working it, it's not gonna work for you. It's not, right? But get around somebody that when you not only can learn what they're doing, because a lot of people do that. They try to watch somebody and you figure out what they're doing, but you gotta realize the spirit that they're doing it in, the strategy that they're doing it in, right? Because that's going to be what leads to their success. You may see them doing that, but you don't understand why they're doing it. Then it's not as impactful when you do it. And so I know that got a little bit off the deep end, but I wanted you guys to know this, right? I've been through some stuff. I've been through the struggle. I've been through the things. I've considered going back to work. Anybody that tells you that they haven't faced any struggles in this entrepreneurship shape, they're probably lying to you. And there's a lot of people lying to you out there, right? I've had the experience, as I told you, of earning 6 figures a month and multiple 6 figures a month even, right? Through some opportunities and things that I've been able to do. But I also experienced not making any money during the month, right? And you got to be able to put yourself in the position mentally, physically, and financially to be able to withstand those types of storms that's going to come through in this space. Right? Now, I'm going to do a video showing you guys all of my passive income streams, right? especially in the crypto. I'm gonna break it down to the crypto space and forex space and then things outside of that. But I'll break it down so you guys can see that. I'll break it down into separate videos so I don't overwhelm you in the video. I didn't want to do it in this one because I wanted to get the mindset. I wanted to get the story out because there's a lot of people that don't understand what happens when you don't have the income coming in that you thought you were going to have. When you built a lifestyle up according to the income that you had coming in and that income is no longer there, you're going to have some tough situations to face. You're going to have some struggles that you're going to have to do. You're going to make some hard decisions. And I've had to do that, guys. But what I want to tell you is that you can make it through those situations. And you can get to that destination that you want to be in. But it's all about you staying focused. It's all about you pushing and pursuing a dream, having a clear vision for where you're going, right? And I got some stuff coming up. I'm not trying to sell you guys on anything today on this, but I do have masterminds and mentorships that are going to be coming up. They're going to be free. I'm not trying to sell you guys on anything. I got some stuff right now that you can do for free. So it's not about what I'm trying to get from you. It's what I'm trying to get to you and where I'm trying to get you to. That's what it's about. The place I'm trying to get you to, mentally, physically, and financially. That's what it's all about. And we got some free stuff that's going to be coming up that you'll be able to take advantage of. I'll put it in the description of this video. If you want to take advantage of it, then take advantage of it. If not, then it's cool. I'm not upset. I did what I was supposed to do, was get this information to you. All right. So guys, I want you guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. If you know somebody that can be helped by this video, that this will impact somebody else, I want you to share it with them. All right. Just do that. Go ahead and like this video if you found value in this, and this is going to help you move forward and keep going in your journey, no matter what it is. All right. So you're going to be expecting more and more videos like this from me, and I'm going to keep you guys updated on my journey and where I am and what I am doing. All right. So guys, I want you to stay locked in with my channel. Keep going, keep pushing, don't stop. And I will see you guys on the next video. Until then, I'm out. Peace.